I was looking for a quote. I think the one from February 7 on my calendar is pretty good. It says, light tomorrow with today. Light tomorrow with today. And that was Elizabeth Barrett Browning. So there you are, famous poet. And speaking of the famous, the first quote from, oh dear me, this is not working. Oh, why is that not working? This is weird. I've decided that my mouse has got a mind of its own. That first quote is from Pablo Neruda, and this is under the title, Embracing Possibilities of Peace. Embracing Possibilities of Peace. Pablo Neruda was he was from South America. He was a famous poet, also I think poet, politician, author from the 20th century. He said, poetry is an act of peace. Peace goes into the making of a poet as flour goes into the making of bread. Pablo Neruda. And Ernest Holmes, a little bit lengthier quote here, who says, there is peace at the center of your being, a peace that can be felt through the day and into the cool of the evening, when you have turned from your labor and the first star shines in the soft light of the sky. It broods over the earth quietly, tenderly, as a mother watches over her child. And that was from Thoughts Are Things, page 45, paragraph 1. And this is from Rev Raymont, who says, with everything happening in the world today, embracing peace as a possibility might just be one of the hardest things to do. And yet, that's exactly what we need to do. It all begins with the question, are you at peace with yourself? If we cannot embrace the peace within our minds, our hearts, and our bodies, and our souls, and our relationships, and our finances, how can we expect to be agents of change who show this peacefulness to the world? How do we move from singing, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me, to, yes, there is peace on earth, and it started with me. In Simple Awareness, quote unquote, Ernest Holmes wrote, a realization of our oneness with omnipresence brings peace. The peace which is accompanied by a consciousness of power. The more we realize that our individual presence is the omnipresence of the universe, presenting itself as us, the more at peace we become, because we become more aware of our divine power. This does not mean that our adrenaline will not spike when we are confronted. That is a natural reaction. It doesn't also mean we will never feel angered over injustices or grieve a death. It means we're not controlled by, nor do we follow the commands of, fear, anxiety, anger, or grief. It does mean that our presence becomes a peaceful space where all these feelings, all these emotions, and all these conditions can safely be contained, can also be diffused, and can be healed. It means actually that our natural way of embracing peace fosters a global atmosphere of peacefulness. So the message is really pretty simple. Peace begins with and inside of each one of us. So when we meditate on, when we embrace peace within ourselves, we are naturally beginning to spread that peace out into the world, into the group human subconscious mind. And as we've often said before, when enough of us do that, yes, there will be peace on earth. So there you are. Very simple message, actually. Kind of fits in with the theme this morning at my Friday Toastmasters Club. I'm a member of 2 Toastmasters clubs, one on Thursday, one on Friday. The Friday one meets at 7 a.m., which is kind of early. And being the Toastmaster, I picked the theme. And the theme I picked was dreams, dreaming, and daydreaming. And daydreaming isn't something that's a waste of time, actually. Apparently, it's pretty necessary. And believe it or not, we do some form of daydreaming 30 to 50% of our time. And moving on from what Reverend Raymont's saying here, when we start to embrace this idea of spreading peace in the world, and then we start to dream about how it would look, we're adding even more energy to spreading the peace around the world. So it's called changing the possibilities in the human group subconscious mind. And as we said before, the one who spread the idea of the group human subconscious was Carl Jung. Probably people did it a long time ago. Freud came up with the subconscious. Carl Jung came up with the group human subconscious. But I am sure that philosophers from ages past had also considered the same thing. So there you are. I really don't have much more today. Over the weekend, I'm probably going to go back and look at our little dog friend Murphy and see what he has to say for 2026. So I will leave you with I think it's a long, but it's a pretty good affirmation. And just remind you, tune into my colleague, Reverend Lisa Ryan, tomorrow morning, 9:15, Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page. Tune in to me on wherever you find me on social media. There's lots of them. And the affirmation, I embrace peace. I tap into the infinite possibilities of how that peacefulness can and will be experienced all over the world. And you could say that's a dream, but dreams do come true, right? Dreams do come true. And I'm sure you've all experienced that. So I really don't have much more today. I would just encourage you all to hold the world in your mind as a place of peace. And between us, let's just see that start to work all over the world. And let this be a prayer that we now release into the universal subjective, calling it done. In true gratitude and saying, so it is. And I will see you all next time. Namaste.